Every World Cup has them. Teams that arrive without the weight of expectation. Teams the pundits overlook. Teams the bookmakers price at 50 to 1 or longer. And then the tournament begins, and somewhere in the second week, one of those teams beats someone they had no right to beat, and the whole world suddenly pays attention. In 2002, it was South Korea and Senegal. In 2010, it was Ghana and Paraguay. In 2018, it was Croatia, who went all the way to the final. And in 2022, it was Morocco, the first African nation in history to reach a World Cup semifinal, who reminded every single one of us that this game does not follow a script. Now the 2026 World Cup arrives in North America. 48 teams, more matches, more opportunities, more chaos. And if history tells us anything, it tells us that somewhere in this expanded field, a dark horse is going to run. Maybe more than one. The question is not whether it will happen. The question is who. Welcome to Everything About Football. These are the 5 teams that could shock the world at the 2026 World Cup. Norway. Let's begin with the team that is perhaps the least surprising dark horse in World Cup history. Norway have not been at this tournament since 1998, 28 years of absence. And in that time, something extraordinary happened. A generation of players arrived that is, by any honest measure, elite. Erling Haaland needs no introduction. The Manchester City striker scored 16 goals in 8 qualifying matches. He has 55 international goals in just 48 appearances. He is 25 years old at the absolute peak of his physical and technical powers, and he has never played at a World Cup. That combination of hunger and quality is one of the most dangerous things in tournament football. But Norway are not just Haaland. Martin Odegaard, their captain, their conductor, is one of the finest midfielders in the Premier League and one of the most elegant players in European football. Antonio Nusa at RB Leipzig provides explosive pace and directness from wide areas. Alexander Sorloth at Atletico Madrid offers a second striker option of considerable quality. Sander Berge anchors the midfield with composure and physicality. Norway won every single one of their 8 qualifying matches. They scored 37 goals, 9 more than any other European qualifier, and conceded just 5. In one remarkable evening in Milan, they beat Italy 4 goals to 1. Eliminating the 4-time world champions from their own home tournament. They have been drawn into Group I alongside France, Senegal, and Iraq. It is a difficult group. France are one of the tournament's genuine favorites. Senegal are formidable. But Norway have the firepower to beat anyone on a given day, and if Haaland catches fire in North America, this team can go very deep. Japan. If Norway are the dark horse with the superstar, Japan are the dark horse with the system. And in tournament football, a great system can beat a great superstar every single time. In 2022, Japan did something that still does not quite feel real. They beat Germany, they beat Spain. 2 former world champions, both eliminated by a team ranked 24th in the world at the time. The method was clear and repeatable. A compact defensive block in the first half, an aggressive high press after the break, and pace on the counter that suffocated every team they faced. Since Qatar, Japan have continued to build that system and add quality to it. They beat Germany 4 goals to 1 in a friendly. They beat Brazil 3 goals to 2. These are not accidents. These are the results of a team that knows exactly what it is and executes its plan with a discipline that very few nations can match. Their squad is filled with players who compete at the highest level of European club football. Takefusa Kubo at Real Sociedad, Wataru Endo at Liverpool, Ritsu Doan at Freiburg, Kaoru Mitoma. Daichi Kamada. This is not a team built around 1 or 2 individuals. This is a collective. 11 players who understand their roles completely and carry them out with almost mechanical precision. Japan have been drawn into Group F alongside the Netherlands. If they navigate that group, and their recent results suggest they can, they become one of the most frightening teams in the round of 32. Nobody wants to face Japan in the knockout rounds. Nobody. Morocco. At what point does a dark horse stop being a dark horse? Morocco reached the semi-final of the 2022 World Cup. They beat Belgium, they beat Spain, they beat Portugal. They became the first African nation in history to reach that stage of the tournament. And yet here we are, 4 years later, and people are still underestimating them. The core of that 2022 squad remains intact. Achraf Hakimi at Paris Saint-Germain is one of the best right-backs in the world. Sofiane Amrabat brings combative intelligence to the midfield. The defensive structure that conceded only 1 goal in regulation time throughout the entire 2022 tournament has not been dismantled. It has been reinforced. Morocco won the Africa Cup of Nations title in 2025, claiming the continental crown. Though the award was subsequently transferred to Senegal following a dispute, the underlying football reality remained. Morocco played as well as any African team across that cycle. Their qualifying campaign for 2026 was dominant. They won 18 consecutive matches across all competitions. Their defensive organization remains the best on the African continent and one of the best in the entire tournament field. Can Morocco go one step further in 2026? Can they reach the final? Their draw has given them a realistic path through the group stage. And if they reach the knockout rounds with that defensive structure intact and Hakimi driving forward from the right, they are a serious threat to anyone. Colombia. There is a number that tells you everything you need to know about Colombia at this tournament. They are ranked 9th in the world by FIFA. 9th. That is not a dark horse. That is a serious football nation. And yet, Colombia are rarely spoken of in the same breath as France, Brazil, Argentina, England. There is a reason for that. Colombia's recent World Cup history has been disappointing relative to their talent. They went out in the round of 16 in 2014, despite having one of the tournament's most exciting attacking players in James Rodriguez. They missed 2018 entirely. They missed 2022 on goal difference in one of the most painful qualifying finishes in South American history. But 2026 is different. The squad is the best Colombia have assembled in a generation. Luis Diaz at Liverpool is one of the most dangerous wide forwards in football. Direct, quick, technically complete. James Rodriguez himself, now 33, returned to the fold and remains capable of producing moments of magic that no other player in this Colombia squad can replicate. Jefferson Lerma brings physical authority in midfield. The attacking structure at its best is genuinely breathtaking. Colombia were runners-up at Copa America 2024, losing only in the final to Argentina. They enter 2026 with momentum, with depth, and with a sense that this generation has unfinished business. Their group draw is manageable, and if Luis Diaz is in the form of his life, which for Liverpool this season he absolutely has been, Colombia can cause damage to anyone in this tournament. Turkey. The most unpredictable team in this list. Possibly the most unpredictable team in the entire tournament. Turkey's relationship with major tournaments is one of the great inconsistencies in international football. In 2002, they reached the semi-final of the World Cup, one of the great surprise runs in the tournament's history. In 2021, they were eliminated from the group stage of the European Championship, having won just 1 point. In 2024, they reached the quarterfinal of Euro 2024 before losing to the Netherlands. The pattern is clear. Turkey at major tournaments can be extraordinary, or they can be dreadful. But the 2026 squad may be the most talented Turkish generation since 2002, and that makes the upside genuinely compelling. Arda Güler at Real Madrid is the kind of playmaker who can unlock any defense in the world on his best days. He is 20 years old. He has already demonstrated in La Liga that he belongs at the very highest level. Kenan Yildiz at Juventus is only 19 years old and provides a finishing threat that younger Turkish sides have historically lacked. Hakan Çalhanoğlu at Inter Milan gives them a midfielder of genuine Champions League pedigree. Orkun Kaku adds further quality in the engine room. Under Vincenzo Montella, Turkey have shown more structural discipline than they have sometimes displayed at major tournaments. They reached the quarterfinal of Euro 2024 with a genuine tactical identity, compact, capable of transitions, and blessed with individual moments of quality that can change games in an instant. Turkey have been drawn into a group alongside Spain. It will not be straightforward. But if Güler and Yildiz find their form in the early matches, and if Montella's structure holds, Turkey can beat anyone in this field. And in the knockout rounds, a Turkish team playing with confidence is one of the most unpredictable forces in world football. So 5 teams: Norway, Japan, Morocco, Colombia, Turkey. Each of them has the tactical identity, the timing, and the belief to go further than the world expects. In an expanded tournament with more paths through the bracket and more opportunities for momentum to build, the conditions have never been better for a dark horse to run all the way. The question is not whether one of these teams will shock the world. The question is which one, and we will find out very soon. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Everything About Football for more analysis, history, and debate. The beautiful game in all its depth.